Okay, so we're back to see what's going to happen with our friend Runaway Ralph. Here's our book that we're reading. Remember on Friday, I did remember he did get to talk to Garth, and then also he noticed that the cat was trying to come back in too. So when we finished up, it was like he was by himself and the cat was there. Nobody was in the place there. So suddenly, the hair along Ralph's spine began to tingle. Catso. Ralph huddled in the corner of his cage, trying to make himself invisible. Catso squeezed through the hole in the screen and landed with a soft thud on the workbench beneath Ralph's cage. Ralph squeezed himself into a tighter ball. He felt as if the beating of his heart was as loud as the ticking of the missing watch. Why couldn't Sam stay home and guard the camp the way he was supposed to? This time there was no watch to distract Catso. Catso stood with his front paws on Ralph's shelf and sniffed the cage. Then he sat down and calmly began to wash. First his right ear, then his left ear. The suspense was more than Ralph could bear. Catso stretched out his left hind leg and began to groom his left hind foot. He licked with long, careful licks, combing his fur neatly towards his toes. Suddenly, Ralph had an inspiration. He was about to take a terrible chance, but with no one to protect him from a sneaky cat, he had nothing to lose. Anything was better than cringing in a corner waiting for that beast to wash and comb every hair on his body. Ralph took charge. He left his corner, sprang on his wheel, and raced so fast he looped. The activity caught Catso's attention all right. The cat sat there with his hind leg in the air, looking surprised. Ralph leaped from his wheel and faced Catso through his bars. The cat forgot about his grooming and jumped to his feet, placed his front paws on the shelf, and stared into Ralph's cage. Hiding his terror, Ralph stared back. "If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a disrespectful mouse," said Catso, and with a swipe of his paw sent the cage flying. Ralph was prepared. He hung onto the bars and braced himself. Water splashed and seeds flew. One corner of the cage struck the workbench, jarring the bottom loose, exactly as Ralph had planned. The cage bounced and landed on its side. Ralph sprang out through what once had been the bottom. This accident was his chance. Catso pounced, but before his paws could land on Ralph, he was thrown off his aim by a sudden hissing sound from above. Startled, he missed Ralph's tail by the width of a whisker. Ralph was startled too, but the unexpected noise did not prevent him from scrambling behind a jar of nails on the work table. Can't figure out what the cat's doing there, so. When Ralph got up the courage to peek around the jar of nails, he saw Catso staring at Chum's cage. He heard the hissing sound again and knew it must be coming from Catso. Good old Chum. Ralph hadn't known that a hamster knew how to hiss. Palmer. When Catso recovered from his surprise, he was after Ralph, who dashed from behind the nails as the jar was sent rolling across the table. Crash! It landed on the floor and broke, scattering nails across the craft shop. Ralph leaped behind the supplies of beans and peas and hamster food with Catso after him. Jars crashed, bags tumbled and split as they fell. Crash, bang, smash! Noise and flying glass did not stop Catso. Ralph leaped behind the big spools of lanyard plastic. Catso knocked over the spools, the plastic unreeled, tangling about his feet. While Catso freed himself from the plastic, Ralph found behind the work table a slanting piece of wood that was a brace between the studs of the rough walls of the craft shop. Ralph ran down the brace as Catso tried to squeeze his head between the edge of the work table and the wall. He could get his head in the space, but not the rest of his body. He pulled back his head and tried to reach Ralph with his paw. Ralph, however, was too far down the brace. Next, Catso leaped to the floor and ran under the table. Ralph scurried up the brace so that he was above the table and beyond Catso's reaching paw. Back to the tabletop went Catso, and down the brace ran Ralph, once again beyond the stretch of those curved and groping claws. Frantic with frustration, the cat sprang from the table while Ralph ran up the brace. Once more, Catso reached and stretched and groped. Ralph's courage and confidence had returned. He advanced within half an inch of Catso's longest reach. Catso tried, but could stretch his foreleg no further. Ralph sat down and said, "This could go on all day. You might as well give up. You know I'm too smart for you." Catso, after one more effort to stretch farther, withdrew his paw, came out from under the table, and picked his way daintily and disdainfully through a jumble of seeds, nails, and plastic cord as if the mess were beneath his notice. He held his tail proudly erect, but he did not fool Ralph. The cat had been defeated. Catso squeezed out the hole in the screen door. Ralph was safe and free. Now all he had to do was figure out how to get his motorcycle away from Garth, and he would be on his way back to the Mountain View Inn. In the meantime, he settled down to feast on all the seeds that Catso had spilled for him. So that's Ralph. He's pretty smart. All right, so our next chapter is chapter 8, and it's called Ralph Strikes a Bargain. We'll pick that up tomorrow and see what bargain he makes plans. So, I wonder what's going to happen. All right, so I hope you got all your NTI work done today and were able to enjoy the pretty day. We'll continue with our book tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on the virtual morning meeting. Love you guys.